Hello. Hey everyone, this is going to be a short stream just looking at Comet McNaught from the KKRO Remote Observatory. It's looking pretty cool. I'm also live stacking it, just RGB, even though I'm also taking luminance. You can see this row of stars here. It's actually going to make it pretty difficult to process later. So I'll have to see how I do that. Here we go. We are looking at a comet. We're looking at Comet 220p McNaught. The joke name for it is the SV Bony SV220p McNaught. And this is about a 6-minute integration. It's trying to look pretty good. I'm hoping to get about an hour on this, but it might move quite a bit. And I think these stars here are going to make it a little bit difficult to process later on. I don't know. I'll have to see. Just get the data first and then worry about the processing later, I guess. Hey, Bartlett. This is an SQA 85 with a TubeTech ATR 2600M with TubeTech LRGB SHO filters in the Kagakama Remote Observatory. I linked to my video about our rental in the description below. The camera and filters have changed since then, but I think it's still a pretty good look. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's about to be morning there, so it's 4:10 a.m. there right now. So Not too bad. Well, lucky for you, I have a whole bunch of videos on how to process comets. They're mostly on how to do them with like color cameras, so but you can adapt them to monochrome cameras if you have them. But definitely check them out. I have a script in Cyril as well. I'll link to one in the description in the chat. Give me 1 second. Let me find it. I seem to have lost my window. Okay. Here goes in Cyril comments. It's actually looking okay. You can see the core of the comet is already smudging because it's just moving, so it's moving this way, I think. Yeah, but this line of stars is gonna make it a little bit of a problem stacking later on. It looks nice, I think. Just leave it as is. Do minimal processing on it. This comet gets really high in the sky for both hemispheres, by the way. So if you do want to take an image of it, this is probably one of the better ones. So this one in the where Comet is gets to 48 degrees in the sky, which is fairly high, and it's up from like midnight to 6 a.m. So depending on where you are, it might be even higher in the sky. Yeah, you can still technically use my script for mono cameras. I think it should work. I haven't actually tried it at time, but I have a mono script which you can use to stack the individual filters and then follow the rest of the comet stacking process. I don't know. Maybe watching the video will help understand what the flow is. So that's what I would recommend. I have other videos on comet processing as well in both Cyril and PixInsight. This is Comet 220p McNaught. If you look at the name of the live stream, or I guess this is in the description or the thumbnail. You know, I guess I didn't put it in there, but I'll type it in. I'll also bring it up here in the orbitals. Comet 220p McNaught. So where's my stream? There you go. Just gonna take a screenshot of this. Just gonna share with a couple of folks. Hey Bob, you looked at this comet at 2:30 in the morning 2 days ago. Cool. Oh, cool. Looking at the poll, 42% have seen or imaged it. That's cool. 58% have not. Oh, cool. You got it with your S50 from Colorado. That's awesome. Yeah, I tried getting it from my backyard with the 131F a few nights ago during a live stream, but didn't work out. I will try it with uh, my S30 at some point. Oh, hey, Chris. It's Chris from the Fort Worth Astronomical Society. How you doing, brother? Did you have a chance to look at the comment yet? Hey, Red. Nice, yeah, yeah. It'll be fun. I've been posting some videos on like different features in Nina, but I'm about to start recording my full-on course in Nina. I still haven't finalized my lesson plan yet, but we'll definitely send it to you for feedback. You forgot last week at the dark side. Yeah, it's okay. It's looks like it'll be around for a little while, so you've got some time to image this one. It says short period. What's the peak date? For if you don't know whether it's cooperative right now. Yes, peak date is I think soon. Let me pull it up. We can look at it together on the Sky Live. Whoops. Okay. So the Sky Live has all the common information you could need plus ads. So the peak date, let's see. So technically it was supposed to be this, but this comet actually had an outburst recently. That's why it has gotten so much brighter. Right now it is supposed to be, I guess, magnitude like 16, but I think it's like 8 or something or 9. It got much brighter, but it'll be around for a little while, and it has a period of, where is that? Ooh, its closest approach is going to be 2048, almost half an AU. That's cool. Hold on, let me Google. Let me see. It has a 5.5-year orbit, so not too bad, actually. So we'll see it again in 2031 or 2032, early 2032. Hey Jeff, I wasn't even planning on going live, but I tried, set up my sequencer to take images of this, and it just worked out. So I was like, okay, I can sit here for an hour looking at this and monitoring it, or I can share it with people. So yeah, the poll to live stream was going to be for like 1 a.m. my time, my usual from Death Valley, but this one worked out. Going to Three Rivers Ranch for a weekend soon. Pretty much World Zero. That's awesome. That'll be fun. Hey, Mr. Stellar. Forecast is tossing up cloud probabilities for the lunar eclipse next week. I know. I'm uh, I'm trying not to look until Monday, at the end of Monday, because I do have live streams planned from KKRO and from Death Valley and from my home. So stay tuned for that. Didn't know about the Skylab. Yeah, it's a really nice tool. Let me I'll post this in the chat so you can just go to it. There you go. Super useful website. If you watched any of my videos on comets, you'll see I featured the Skylab quite a bit because they have a lot of great information, along with COBS, which is the Comet Orbital Database something. 4 a.m. is best time for Texas to see this. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so yeah, I tried imaging this from Death Valley the other night, but it's like 7 a.m. my time, so I could wake up early, but I won't. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate you too. Always love the collaboration everywhere. I'll point out again that the core of the comet is smudging in the live stream because it's moving. It's moving this way, actually, like towards this line of stars. And this line of stars is going to make it difficult for processing later because they're going to smudge, and star X is going to be difficult because it's going to start removing the tail. So tonight may not have been the best night to image. And by the time it moves past these, it'll probably be too late in the morning. So yeah, I don't know. I'm actually going to stop Dropbox from syncing because I'll do it for an hour because it slows me down quite a bit from South Africa to Boston. Can you quickly go over each tile on screen? Yes, yeah. So these are just tool sets that you can enable from the top toolbar here. Like this is the focuser. It gives you some snippets here, but to get to this, you can also go to equipment and focuser here. This is basically the same stuff, just compressed here. So this is supposed to be like an all-in-one if it loads. Yeah, it's supposed to be like an all-in-one like control of all of your things. So this is the filter wheel. This is the camera settings. Like you can set the cooling if you want to, but most of this is automated anyway. And this is where your mount is pointing. And you can move them. Like you can see that I can click and drag and move it. So right here. Yeah, so I can rearrange them how I want it. And then I should probably actually lock this because I don't want to move them. Some other things here, there's a lot of tabs here. These are different plugins and views. So like the image window, this is the last image that was taken. And you can flip through them on the right-hand side here where it says image history. So you can see like what other things I was imaging earlier this night. There's the limit to how many it goes back. Ooh, this one is bad. Oop, that one got removed. Let me play this one. There we go. So this is a section of the Small Magellanic Cloud. So this is from earlier in the evening. And then once it finishes an exposure, it'll override. These are some other controls. 3-point polar alignment, filter offsets, super handy for if you have a filter wheel. This is the live stacking. This is what I'm doing now. This is the orbitals plugin. This is what you want for solar system stuff and comets. So you can download their orbital periods. You can update them whenever you want, and then it gives you like where it is. And then you can use the framing wizard here to frame the comet. That's basically what I did here before starting the starting the live stream. And also, I just noticed that there is a TLE for total lunar eclipse. Ooh, cool. I'm going to have to use that. And then the autofocus tab, the sequencer. These are just, a bunch of tools. Like when I do my videos, I'll definitely go into deeper detail. This telescope plugin here is super cool. It tells you the orientation, like where my telescope is pointing. incorrect form, I could change this to a refractor, but this is what it's basically pointing. On the right hand side here, there are statistics. It doesn't quick statistics on the image here. It has the two values that I normally look at are the min and max. It lets me know if I'm clipping. 15 pixels clipping at 0 is nothing. Most of the time, it's a non-zero number. I just want to make sure that I'm not overexposing or underexposing. Here, I can take a quick image if I want to. This is only enabled if it's not already imaging. Over here is a plate solving thing, same thing. It only works if I'm not already imaging. And we saw the image history. And then here I have the guider. So this is just PhD2, just a little view there. So let me open up PhD2. Here it is. It's basically the same thing, just compressed. All right, that was a lot of words coming out of my mouth for explaining this. Hopefully that was kind of helpful. You've seen a lot of comet images where stars are streaked. They look pretty cool as it shows that something's actually moving in space, unlike deep sky images. Yeah, sometimes it's like impossible to remove star streaking. Like I am pretty sure I'm gonna have problems with this line of stars, but it's actually kind of cool, these line of stars. I'll have to see how I do this. And the luminance is not getting, you can see just luminous actually looks pretty good, but luminous doesn't get live stacked in Nina, only RGB. Yep, happy to help you. Yeah, it's like all just like getting used to, like all the it's overwhelming for anyone starting out. It took me a while to get comfortable with Nina, but now like my system here at KKRO and at DVO are both automated mostly. I barely touch it unless I need to do some imaging on a Comet where it does needs a manual intervention, or if something goes wrong, I need to manually intervene. But usually, you need to get your it's autofocusing. Okay, you need to get your Nina set up from the default layout to something that'll work for me. Yeah, it takes a little while to like get used to like what works for you. I actually don't have a standard. I have something different at home because I'm since it's not automated, like I don't have like a right now I don't have a monochrome camera, so like the filter wheel isn't there, like the plate solving thing isn't there. I don't have to have like the telescope plug in, some of the other stuff, so it's different for me too. Mr. Optimist stacking 3120 subs of LDN 1251 from the rental C-Star Pro at Starfront in Cyril using my script. Cool. Been going for over 6 hours is rough. Yeah, are you drizzling? Because drizzle adds like exponential time. Also depends on your hard drive / SSD speeds and RAM. Hey Dan, you posted your first project from Astropeak. Awesome. It was very hard due to once the limit was on you and not the sky. Yeah, that's funny. I haven't. Funny thing is, I haven't actually published anything final from Death Valley observatories yet. I've just been collecting data. It's I have a problem. I like collecting data more than I like processing them. So I'm trying to finish some projects, and then I'm going to start making them available to people on Patreon. Be like, go wild on this data from Border One. Chris, you need to learn Nina. SharpCap is good for live streams, but not great for automation. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when I do like planetary live streams, I'll do SharpCap. Sometimes I'll do what's the other one? Fire capture. I used to actually do a lot of fire capture until they introduced live stacking planets in SharpCap, which is super cool. No drizzle, quad core, 16 gig RAM with a Samsung SSD. Huh, interesting. It's taking that long. It could be the i7, the quad core i7. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but hopefully it finishes. I still have never used an ASI Air. So when people ask for help on the Discord, I'm like, I'm sorry, I have to wait for somebody else. Hey Roshio, for you, feeling of seeing the full stack hits just as hard as seeing the first sub. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I should have. I think my problem is I don't have a lot of time to process. Processing takes so much time, so much brain power, which I'm lacking these days. Oh man, your Rasa was hit by a lightning? Wow. Or I guess there was a lightning and it shorted some stuff. That sucks. Hey Boxfort, this is an SQA 85. This is in the southern hemisphere at the Kagakama Remote Observatory. Using an ATR 2600, which is a TubeTech monochrome camera with TubeTech filters, and taking 60-second exposures of Comet McNaught in LRGB. Mm-hmm. This is not my first time imaging this comet from here. Last time I did it, there was so much haze. A lot of the bright stars showed halos. I really like the TubeTech camera. So I actually have the same camera and same filter set in both remote observatories. They're both using the same 4 nanometer SHO filters. They're really nice. There are no chroma filters, I'll say that, but they're much cheaper. I really like it. Only thing is my filter wheel has been acting super weird, not mechanically, but it keeps unscrewing the filters. It is super strange. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like ghosts or aliens are doing it. It happened 2 months in a row, and my mind is kind of blown. I'll post pictures in the Discord later. I'll also link to my TubeTech camera review in the chat there. Yeah, so that's my review of the TubeTech camera. But I really like their LRGB filters. They work really well, cheap, and the 2-inch SHO filters are also good. You imaged this in Kentucky a couple days ago. Nice. Storm fried a lot of stuff in the 40-foot container. That sucks. Network gear, surge protectors, cameras, and the melee on the scope. That's terrible. Eek. You're looking at chroma when you went mono, still trying to weigh 294 versus the 2600. The 294, is that the one with amp glow? I started with the 533, so that one didn't have amp glow. I really like the 2600, but that is a little bit of bias because I've never used the 294. How do you live stack in Nina? It's a plugin, so there's a everything's a plugin, so it's a live stack plugin. So install it. You can you can add your master calibration frames if you need to. I don't have any for this right now. I can read through the workflow here, and then in imaging tab, it is one of these options here, which is live stack. Where's live stack? It's one of these. It's one of those, but then it shows up as a tab somewhere, and you click on it. It automatically, you press play, it automatically starts stacking, live stacking each filters. With OSC, it's much simpler. And then to combine RGB, you click on this thing, and then you do add color combination, and you can pick your red, green, and blue channels. This is going to be a part of my Nina series as well, so. There's an option to use Nina. Yeah, there's pins, right? Oh yeah, you already mentioned it. Yeah. Yeah, there's no Nina, but there's ECOS. I used ECOS for a long time with a Raspberry Pi. It's not as fleshed out as Nina, but it's open source. It worked really well for me. Especially, I've never tried to fully automate a rig with ECOS, but you could. I mean, it might be great if you're just trying to take it out to a field yourself, not trying to fully automate everything. But check out ECOS. I used Astroberry for a long time. I think Astroberry just came back as an actual thing, so. The 294 has some amp glow less than the 183. I think the 183 was what I was picturing. Yeah, the 294 has amp glow, but it's not a problem if processed correctly. Yeah. You switch to K-Stars and ECOS. I mean, K-Stars and ECOS works, right? It just works really well. It has some features that I wish Nina was better at. So I downloaded this or installed this plugin called Click to Center. You click on a position and then you click Salute and Center. It'll center there. With ECOS, you click on there, you click center, it calculates just how much to move and then it moves it. But in Nina, with that plugin, it needs to do a plate solve, which doesn't always work if you're trying to center the moon or something, uh, which is kind of annoying sometimes. But it's fine. Like, Nina's great, ECOS is great, big fan of both. The pins repo is a bit of a mess, yeah. I haven't actually looked that closely into pins. Is the Comet can be seen in Canada? Yes, it can. It can be seen in Canada. Hey, Niraj. That does look like a comet. Yeah, this comet can be seen from both hemispheres. I can see it from Boston. It comes up fairly late, so it rises around 12:30 a.m. right now. But I have a video on how, if you use Stellarium, I have videos on how to add Comet to Stellarium. I'll link to that in the chat. It's not going to be for this specific comet, but you can use the same tutorial on how to add other comets. Okay. Yeah, so you can watch that video. It shows you how to add a comet. Just plug in Comet 220p instead of, what did I show in that video? I don't even know, whatever comet I showed in that video. Yeah, just substitute. It works as exactly the same, but you can see it there. You like it, but it's a bit to learn how to look for stuff you need through all the tools you don't. Yeah, agreed. I'll also, to everyone who's listening right now, I'm also going to give a quick preview of a video I'm going to post in a couple of days where I will be giving away a Dwarf Mini in partnership with Dwarf Lab. So stay tuned for that. And I'll also be live streaming the upcoming lunar eclipse, hopefully, weather permitting. Does anyone here have a Dwarf Mini already? I just got my hands on one earlier today. Charged it, but it's, cloudy here with no chance of meatballs. That's right. That's right. You have the Dwarf 3. I have one too. It's actually with Chris of the Fort Worth Astronomical Society right now. I know you're having a little bit of trouble with it, so hopefully it treats you better at your upcoming trip. I'm not sure how long the tail is. I am not sure. Did not measure. But what I can do is I can Google. Tail measured at up to 35 degrees across the sky at its peak. Its real measurement is about half an AU, so that's pretty big, right? 45 million miles or 75 million kilometers. Wait, that might be a different Comet McNaught. I know. The ICQ says its tail is about 35 degrees in length, so maybe it wasn't. But I don't think we see this here. I probably should have framed the comet over here so I could see more of the tail, but I let Nina center it. All good though. If it's 35 degrees, no. Right now, what I could see and what I was able to process from my last session, it did. Yeah. Yeah. Normally I would frame it a little bit better, but to me, to my eyes, it looked like it fit here. And when I did deliberate processing, it didn't look that long to me, but 35 degrees is huge. So you probably need Portal Zero skies. So maybe Chris will get some. And I did just get word that the observatory at Death Valley did just open, so I'll actually log into that too. Yeah, it helps with animations later on too. Yep, it does. This one actually is not moving that much, so not too bad. So, all right, so this is my rig at Death Valley, just hopping on. I know the resolution gets messed up, so it's still light there, still about at least an hour before things start imaging. But we can look at the all sky cam here. This is my rig, perfectly clear tonight. My original plan was to live stream from here, but since I'm doing one from Kagakama, I'm probably not gonna go live later. I need to finish recording some stuff, recording and editing. But with any luck, on Thursday evening for the lunar eclipse, I'll have both of these rigs up and looking at the moon. Hopefully people can join me then. We'll prove if the Earth is round or not. No, I mean it hasn't. The sun hasn't set yet at Death Valley, or in a setting now. So, all right, thanks, Chris. Good luck. Thanks for hopping on. Let's see when sunset is. Sunset 1948. So look, sunset's like now. Haha. So yeah, just triggered sunset, so it's moving on. Yeah, so it's gonna be like another hour before it images anything, which will be good because I didn't image anything last night because it was cloudy most of the night. I didn't feel like dealing with hazy frames. Yeah, and Kagakama is 6 hours, 5 hours ahead of me. Six hours ahead of me, so that helps. I've meant to do more live streams from Kagakama like during the day. That was one of the plans when we signed up here, but it's so hard to find time during the day, especially when you have a toddler. But luckily, I had an hour tonight. And this is the way it's imaging. It's going to image for maybe another 20-25 minutes, counting dithering and any kind of autofocusing. It's just not bad. So I think when that ends is when this live stream is going to end because I have to go do other stuff at home. But this was fun. Appreciate everybody for joining in. Still have about 15 minutes, 20 minutes before I have to cut off. Yep. That time always comes. Hey Cody, yeah, everything 1 a.m. Yeah, it's I'm I'm imaging every like 16 hours a night, like when it's clear in both observatories, because there is about a I think a 90-second overlap between KKRO and DVO. So KKRO will stop imaging as Death Valley starts imaging based on how all of this it was set up. So it's kind of neat that I'm like continuously imaging when it's clear. Um, Kayakama is going through like a couple of weeks of a lot of haze due to the weather system there, but tonight it was perfectly clear. Hey, Arizona Dark Sky Observatories, welcome. Oh, you've been here. Okay, you got a jet. Hey, I'm glad you learned stuff. Good luck with your project. Hope it's going well. And thanks for stopping by. Hey, Galactic AstroTurd scored an Orion AstroView 6 off Marketplace for $20 today. That's awesome. Congrats. Yeah, gotta love a good Marketplace deal. I have an Orion Fun Scope that I got from Marketplace for I think $40 a while ago, pre-COVID. It's great. Pre-COVID, maybe during COVID. I don't remember, but it's great. I always wanted one when I was younger, but could never get one, and then they stopped making them. Ooh, one cool thing we can see is we can see how much the core of the comet has moved since I started this live stream about an hour ago. Oops, zoomed in too much. One of the things about this rig here is that it's a little bit slow, so I have to make sure I click and then wait a second because it's so far away. Okay, so this is the core right now. And I'm going to click on the luminous core from when I first started almost an hour ago. So I'm going to put my cursor here. There we go. Oh, I guess everything. I guess it dithered. That's not a good. That wasn't as good of an experiment as I thought. Yeah, so it's about this far from that star. Oh, maybe it's moving the other way. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's moving away from these stars. So you can see. It's. I wish I could place markers on the screen. Probably can take a screenshot. Okay, so it's moving away. So the tail is actually behind it as it moves away. Yeah. Not much in the red. This is mostly a blue-green comet. Oh yeah, look at this. We can see the path of its movement. Moved quite a bit, but not as much as a lot of other comets that we've seen come close to us. Weird, you switched to your laptop for the chat and had my other old account logged in. Ooh. And I still kind of figured you were Astro Jeff. I thought maybe you changed your name. Or it's your evil twin. Today you worked out streaming from OBS to Dwarf 3, so probably will do a live stream of the eclipse as well if weather holds. Cool. Good luck. Yeah, I feel like streaming from a dwarf and sea star is pretty fun. Are you gonna get clear skies? Did you look at the weather? And you said if weather holds. Oh, you said weather holds. Yeah, so it's currently clear. Cool. I'm most likely borrowing Dan's Sea Star in Utah, if Dan is still here, because I haven't been able to secure one at Death Valley. So he's gonna be one, and then I have one at KKRO from Nikki, who's another astrophotographer here. So I'll be using two Sea Stars at least, and maybe my rigs as well. Only reason I didn't want to make my rigs primary is because it's a monocam, and the fastest shutter speed I can do is 0.0001 seconds, 1/10,000th of a second. And it's still too fast or too slow for the full moon. I have to use a sulfur filter in order to see details of the lunar surface. I'll figure it out. Now looking at the poll, 37 votes and 30% of you have seen or imaged Comet 220p McNaught, brought to you by SV Boney. Imaged. I made a typo in the question. Can't edit. Right? I can't edit. Yep, I can't edit. I can only end. Now it's 29%. 38 people have voted. 29% have seen it. Oh man, a satellite went right through here. In green, in the green filter. Once this finishes, my target scheduler is going to take over again. So for about 16 minutes. And then what it'll image next is, since I use target scheduler, again, it's a little bit slow. We're going to go back to the Large Magellanic Cloud, and I'm also imaging Caldwell 67, a 2-panel mosaic. So I could technically keep imaging the comet. Maybe I should. Maybe I should extend this. Yeah, the only thing is I can't. I have to. I do have to get off the computer to go do stuff. So I could leave everything unattended and let people come in and go while the live stack just continues for like another hour. Actually, I can do another hour. What are people's thoughts? I'll put it in a quick poll actually and see what people think. All right, let's see what people think. Yeah, I won't be able to answer questions or make changes here. So yeah, and to just extend it, I just have to change the sequence from 15 iterations to 30, and it'll add another hour. It ends at 5:57, so maybe I'll do like another 10. Naz, what are you, when you're live stacking, is Nina saving the individual subs as well? Yep, it's saving it. So here, let me open up my thing. It is in this terrible folder name, so Comet McNaught. Yeah, so these are all from tonight. So it's getting saved. These things still need to be synced, so Dropbox will come on at some point, but yeah, it's working. More data is always good. Hey, Jim, I agree. Just put a banner, nothing, noting in autopilot mode. I know, I should. Okay. All right. I think people, let me just quickly check the poll before I get off. Right. Only 6 votes, 100% says yes. So Justin's letting you keep the S30. That's awesome. So nice of Justin. Congrats on your new S30. Okay. Unable to ASCOM driver. Whoops. All right, I'm gonna have to troubleshoot something. Sometimes my Wanderer Astro software acts up, so sorry. Troubleshooting something here. Well, good thing it happened while I was still here. So this is my Death Valley rig. Awesome. 50mm guide scope. That's what I have. I have a 60mm one. Correct. So is this on now? Okay, this is on now. Sometimes I don't understand what's happening with the Wanderer Empire app. It just like sometimes half starts. I'm actually glad I caught that in the live stream because I've been meaning to take a screenshot for Wanderer Astro. Let's see. And I think what I can do is no, it's not gonna work. Give me 1 second before I leave everybody unattended. Oh, autofocusing. Oh yeah, let me change this to not from 15 to, let's say, I think 28 will get me to the morning, but it should also end itself. At 5:57. Okay, cool. I need to turn this one off. Wander Astro is something done with the new updates. Otherwise, past year or before their apps were working fine. Yeah, it's weird. I'm using Wander Astro here in Comet as well. This one has been fine. So I don't know. Something weird. Weird. Okay, so what I'm going to do is oops. I'm just trying to find a way to leave my all sky cam on with you at Death Valley while also showing you the comet. Yeah, I think this is good. Are you going to set up KKR and DV? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I'm trying to do something. So this is going to be here, right? Yeah, so this is the all sky cam. It doesn't look as good as I thought it would. So this is refreshing every minute or so. That's okay. I think this is okay. Although the chat is less visible. I'm gonna move the chat. Oops. Move the chat to the other side, next to the comet for now. Or actually over here, where the black screen is. There we go. I think that works. Alrighty. Now I can leave this unattended. So I guess everybody behave. And I'll probably be back later to cut this off anyways. All right, I'm back. Looks like the chat. Let me catch up. Hey Naz, the last stream was on autopilot mode. Depends on if you are coming back. Cool. It wasn't a lot that hasn't happened, right? But cool. I got 20 subs of each RGB and 20 on Loom, so um, that's 40 minutes. Interesting. Uh, and this is actually triggered my end of night sequence, so it is shutting down. Super cool. So now I can actually delete this one because this is a perpetual sequence that just runs forever. So I just got to get rid of the Comet thingy and then bring my global trigger back. I got rid of that. I might just restart it later, but I'll let it warm up. It's looking okay. I'll pull up one of the observatory cameras. Let's see. And we can see daytime down at the Kagakama Remote Observatory. I guess it's still kind of dark. It stops at astronomical dark, so we can still see some stars. So I probably could have gone a little bit longer, but I think it's okay. And while this is happening, my rig in Death Valley. Oops, I got disconnected. Looks like there was a internet issue. Let's see. Oops, it did not connect my camera. Great. Okay, let's see what it's on. All right, looks like my Death Valley Observatory's thing started imaging, but I had to reset it because of the issue with Wanderer Astro software not turning on. So the um, my guide camera never connected, so it should be okay now. So I'm just restarting this. Okay. Interesting, interesting. It looks not as dark as it usually does. Okay, I think it's fine. Looks like the staff at DV is working on an adjacent rig, so there's some light here, but it's okay. All good. Start guiding. And the first thing we're looking at is, so hold on, I can just look here. So I'm gonna keep the stream going for maybe another 30 minutes or so, and then shut down because I need to really need to record stuff. So yeah, we're doing Oxygen 3 in the Elephant's Trunk Nebula. So I'm trying to catch up on some of that data before the moon gets full, and it's below my limit. But yeah, that should be good. Hey, from the open window, longtime fan. Actually found you through your images on Reddit. Oh, cool. Don't even been asked, but you reviewed the ASCAR 71F. Have you tried any experience with the 60F? Unfortunately, no. The 60F and the 111F are the only two that I have not used. Never thought about getting the 60F because I have a 60 millimeter refractor. It's a doublet with a reducer that I really enjoy. So I felt the 60F would have been redundant. And like all these scopes, that I review, I have to buy anyway, I have to pay for. So it didn't feel like it was worth it to me. But I know a couple of people who have the 60F and they absolutely love it. So I think you'll be good with that. No complaints from anyone as far as I've seen. And I don't know enough people with the 111F actually. So, but yeah, I'm sure the 60F. ASCAR makes great products. I'm a huge fan of the F series, and have no doubt the 60F is also really good. Before I forget, let me turn on live stack. Not that it matters for just a single oxygen 3. So I'm not going to reject this because it just did not have guiding turned on. So, okay. All right. Now we're back to imaging. Now it's calibrating. Make sure it can track properly. And the all sky cam may not be the best today since there's some work happening on the rig right next to mine, I guess. I'm trying to decide if you should go for the 60F and the 2600 MC Pro, or if you should go the upcoming S50 Pro. Did Zilby reach out to you about reviewing it? They have not. You are, I think, the 15th person today to ask if I have the S50 to review. A couple of people on Discord, 3 people DM'd me on Instagram. No, I haven't been in contact with ZWO in a couple of months. They're not sending me or reviewing it, as far as I know. So no, it's okay. Yeah, no, no need to apologize. I thought it was funny. I know. I reviewed the S30 and the S30 Pro as they were released. So, and I try not to make a habit of trying to ask ZWO for stuff when I don't have to. But if they reach out, I won't say no. But I do have my hands on the the Dwarf Mini. Dwarf Lab just sent that to me. So I'll be testing that out for the upcoming Eclipse. And not only that, Dwarf Lab is actually going to let me pick a winner of a giveaway. So somebody will win one of these in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to post a video on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, about the upcoming lunar eclipse. So come back for that because you may have a chance to win one of these. Also close the poll. 85% wanted me to do this unattended. A quick dumb poll just to tease what's happening, what's coming. I'll bring up my KKRO rig again just to look at the final live stacked image of this. This actually looks really nice. We can see just how much the comet moved from here to here over the course of about almost 2 hours. So it did not move that much. I mentioned that I'm going to have a hard time processing this because of these stars here. But I'm going to try anyway. It looks really nice though. It sort of looks like in luminance. Yeah, there's a lot of light here in luminance. It's nice. Yeah, this first sub in Sulfur 2 was bad. Just because he wasn't guiding, so look at all these stars. They look not great. Hopefully this thing is in focus. Oh, oh, looks like I'll be actually be imaging an O3, S2, and HA, so LiveStack will be okay. So we'll see. We'll see what this looks like. Oh, about your question whether you're going to go for the 2600 MC Pro or S50 Pro, I think they're two different beasts. The 60F with the 2600 MC Pro and a good mount is going to give you much better detail than the S50 Pro, which is I think is going to have the same 250 millimeter focal length. The 60F is, I believe, 360, 300, 420. What is it? Let's see, because they're usually f6.9s, right? Yeah, it's an f6.8 telescope. So what is that? To 400 and where's my math? Where's my math? 408 millimeters. Okay, yeah. So you're gonna get much deeper. Yeah, it's 408 for the 60F focal length. So yeah, you're gonna get much deeper, much better pixel scale, and it'll be much more modular because you'll have access to the filters. And the 2600, the IMX 571 sensor, is just amazing. But it's going to be a lot more money when you combine all those, because the 2600 MC Pro itself is like, what, $1,600, $1,700? Even if the S50 is $1,000, all on its own, it's still going to be like a third of what the 60F plus 2600 MC Pro plus a mount is going to cost. Do you already have a mount? But in any case, if you do order, I have referral links you can use. Yeah, the 585 pixels will fit the 60F better than the 2600 MC Pro. It'll be closer to critical. Oh man, my brain is shutting down. Critical sampling with the 60F, but the 2600 MC Pro is going to be future proofing you. So when you get bigger, longer focal length telescopes, the 2600 is going to fit them better because the pixels are a little bit bigger. And the field of view is also much larger. But the 585 is an excellent sensor. This is how this hobby gets so expensive. If you change up one part of your rig, you have to change up two more because you need them to fit properly. I can close this now. Hey Rich, welcome. You're thinking the AM3N for portability. You live in Bortle 9 when I'm surrounded by mountains. That's cool. Yeah, I'm in like Bortle 8 in Boston. AM3N is an excellent mount. I have the rig in Death Valley. This one is using an AM5 that I sent down. Yeah, works really well. Guides and tracks really well. Look at, oh my goodness, I'm getting 0.35 arc seconds here. That's insane guiding. Yeah, it's great. I like it. I also have the Sal 33, and I'm currently testing another mount called the Clear Sky mount. which is an AM7 equivalent, but they have smaller ones too that are cheaper. So far from testing, it looks okay, but it's going to be like another few weeks before I can get a video out on that. Hey, you're all set up in Death Valley. It's great to hear, Rich. Are you imaging for the first time tonight? Awesome. Congrats. It's a amazing night to be imaging, of getting to get first light, right? It's like super clear tonight. All said. Another reminder: in a couple days, I'll be posting a video about the lunar eclipse, where I'll be giving away a Dwarf Mini with with collaboration with Dwarf Lab. So excited about that. I haven't done a big giveaway like that on this channel. Do you think the Sea Stars programs like Astro Wizards are adding to the hobby or subtracting from it? Oh man, we just had like a big conversation in the Patreon channel on Discord about it. The consensus is that we're glad that there's a tool for everyone. Um, like Astro Wizard does make it really easy for beginners who don't want to spend a lot of time processing and learning the processing. Uh, but it also, I think, for people who like the process of processing, it can take away from that because you don't get to think about all the steps that you need to take. You don't get to take all the little artistic steps that all the tools in PixInsight and Cyril give you access to. But with that, like there's like no wrong path to take. It's just that people have different opinions. Um, and I think Sea Stars and Astro Wizard are really great entryways into this hobby. And most people I know who start out with a Sea Star end up getting a bigger rig because they want to do more. They want to see closer things or farther away things, bigger things, better colors, go monochrome. So Sea Star is a gateway drug to more expensive gear, and Astro Wizard may be a gateway drug to like PixInsight. Because as good as it's going to be, it's never going to be as mature as PixInsight. Because PixInsight has a couple of decades on Astro Wizard. So does Cyril. Like Cyril's been around for a very long time. But I don't know if that answers your question. I think it's adding. I guess I'll answer that. It's adding, um, and how much it adds depends on who you are and what you're looking for. Rich, you're already planning the next rig. That's awesome. Well, if you want somebody to talk you through rigs and stuff, you know where to find me. Let me know. Happy to chat. I also have referral links for anyone who wants to order stuff. That does help me out quite a bit. Yes, I'll go to bring people into astrophotography. Yeah, agreed, Miguel. Get people into the hobby. Yeah, that's actually why I do like the Sea Stars and the Dwarfs. They're just so simple. When people ask me for like, hey, what should be my first telescope? Uh, a Sea Star is usually one of my first recommendations now. It used to always be a tabletop Dobsonian because they were easy. So just need something that's easy. Um, send you a link. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'll link you to Discord. Do you use Discord? I'll invite you to Discord if you're not already there. And you can chat with me there. There's a whole section for affiliate links, but like never required, always appreciated. App looks better. 4-second images, norm. 4-second images? I don't know if I understand. Yeah, that's you. You've had the S30 for a while, and the effort to get out of the city. You're not happy with what the images are putting out raw. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a little disheartening when the AI enhances and the app looks better. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? With the AI stuff, like as ZWO doesn't reveal what they're actually doing to the AI stuff. It's I'm a little on the fence with that. When I do my outreach with my C Star, I don't use any of the AI tools in the C Star. But when I'm post processing, I will use the RC Astro suite, BlurX, NoiseX, and StarX. But that's because I can control exactly like how much is happening. How many stacks so far? These are so this actually ended. This stacked 60 images, so it's about an hour of red, green, and blue. Each frame is 60 seconds each. So I shot this for an hour and 20 minutes because I also have 20 minutes of luminance, which did not get added to the stack because Nina can't do automatic luminance stacking. But in red, green, and blue, this is an hour, and it moved quite a bit. I guess I should put up this rig. This is oxygen. Now we're shooting an S2 again. Yeah, this is it's a little bit hard to see, but there's some like dark nebulosity around here. But oxygen doesn't really reveal much. Hopefully, sulfur does in a few minutes. I am not taking 4-second exposures. This one at Death Valley is taking 10-minute exposures, and this one in the Kawakama Remote Observatory was taking 60-second exposures, so 1 minute. No worries, no one should disregard. It's a good task. Yeah, again, it depends on what the AI is doing, right? There was a point when in the C Star app, it would when you image the full moon, it would enhance and super duper sharpen the moon. It looked ugly, like so ugly. I did a bunch of live streams, and all I did was just complain about it. It could be why they decided not to send me an S50 to test. Like, oh, this guy does this complain about this. So that's daytime at KKRO. We'll close this. The only reason I'm leaving this open for a little while is because that's what the stream was about. The live stacking of this Comet, which looked really nice. I'm looking forward to processing this data. Although I'll have a difficult time with the stream of stars that it went through. Yeah, I'll have to see how I do that one. Ooh, I think there's a little galaxy here. That's cool. Maybe another one right here. Another one right here. Looks like a galaxy group here. Very tiny. how to make a video on the processing of a comet, or this looks like a good group of galaxies here, I think. I have videos on comet stacking and processing already, so I'm not planning on doing anything with this one yet, but I'll have the data if I need to later on. Where are you imaging from? So this here is from the Kagakama Remote Observatory in South Africa. And this here is from Death Valley Observatories. This is from Death Valley Observatories in western Nevada. Of this image, how you deal with the stars and stuff. Yeah, I probably should. That's a good question. I think it'll depend. I don't have any plans on doing a video on how to do this right now because I think I'll struggle. But if I figure out a cool way to, remove the stars or process it with the stars in there, leave the comet intact, I'll record a quick video on how to do that. But it's gonna be, I'm definitely gonna struggle with this one. I'm gonna take a screenshot for. I'm renting the rig here with two friends, Dave and Chris. So I'm gonna take a screenshot for them. Rich is a friend. We talk all the time. I can definitely ask him if I need help with any of this processing. Oh, I know how to do comet processing. That's not what I think I was going to struggle with. It's these stars here that are cutting through the comet. So if I do star removal on this, it is going to mess with the comet itself. It's going to remove signal from the comet. So my comment about having trouble is this line of stars specifically, not about comet processing. I've been doing comet processing for a while. I have videos on how to do comet processing, as well as a script on how to stack comets and do an automatic time lapse. So I'll link to that in the video. And this is actually a little bit more complex because it is not an OSC camera. These are red, green, blue filters. So yeah, it's a monochrome filter. So I actually have to process this 4 times in each of the filters with and without the stars removed. I've already done it with Comet McNaught, so it's I know the process. Hey Nikki, welcome. Yeah, I mentioned earlier that I'll probably be streaming the lunar eclipse from KKRO using your C-Star which I still have to figure out how to connect to at some point. Probably a tomorrow or Monday problem once I see the forecast. I don't want to overplan if it's going to be cloudy. With StarX, I'm not sure it will mess with them, maybe, but not thinking sure it will. It definitely will. Yeah, the StarX definitely messes with with signal around bright stars. One of the tricks is to stretch it a little bit so that it sees the stars a little bit better. But even then, the rejection algorithm, and then when you try to pull the stars back in, it's just yeah. I have to think about it. I'll figure it out. How did I get into astrophotography? Was it part of a job or just a hobby? It was always a hobby. I've always been into stars, astronomy since I was a kid. I used to go to my local community colleges outreach events whenever I could. And then astrophotography, I started as soon as I got a job and I could. But I would say that I've got really comfortable with astrophotography maybe 6 or 7 years ago. So not that long ago. But I've technically had this channel since 2012, just haven't done much with it. It's not a job. It doesn't even pay for itself, really. I wish. Yeah, the Comet looked really good tonight. What is for Astro Backyard? Do I own the scopes? Though the one in Death Valley, yes. So this whole rig is mine, including the all sky cam. This one is mine. The scope at Death Valley or at KKRO, this one is owned by one of the owners at KKRO, Sean. Um, that's because it was cheaper to rent this out there than sending stuff and then getting it back later on. So this one is a full rental. So you pay for the pier and for renting the rig. And in Death Valley, I just pay for the pier. No problemo. Good questions, by the way. Good question. Happy to answer questions about both of these observatories and show off whatever I can. And with that said, I'm going to leave this stream going for another 15 minutes so that it'll be at the 2 hour 45-minute mark and then end it because I really have to record and edit some other videos, especially the one for the dwarf mini giveaway that's coming up soon. I think you were saying astrophotography is a full-time job for Trevor. Oh, I see. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I think I used to watch uh, his videos like as soon as they popped on. I still watch them. It just takes me a little while to catch up. But I think I remember when he actually announced that he was doing astrophotography or doing YouTube full time. So that was pretty cool. It was actually a good motivating factor to me to push this channel a little bit more because I had it at the time. I just didn't do much with it. Yeah, he's doing it full time, and I know Nico Carver from Nebula Photos is also doing it full time. But I think most others are not. Like Queeve is not. Rich from Deep Space Astra is not. Lutza from the Space Koala is not. I am not. Not even close. Yeah, so last night's weather wasn't great at Death Valley, so I didn't actually run my rig. For the first time in a long time, I let it not run. So I might pull my All Sky auto video, the auto time lapse that the All Sky app does, and show you what that looks like in a minute. All right, it's downloading. It's gonna take a couple minutes. I think the internet is a little bit wonky tonight. You wonder if it's just revenue from the videos or if they're selling their photos. I know Astro Biscuit sells prints. Yeah, I'm not sure. YouTube doesn't pay the most. I think I get decent views, but I don't make a lot of money through this. I know they have like sponsorship deals as well. So like if you look at their videos, they may get sponsored by like Squarespace or something. Like those pay outside of the platform. I'm sure they also sell photos, um, teach stuff maybe. Oh, I don't know, and like Patreon too. Like, I know Nico Carver has like a giant Patreon, which is amazing. I am one of his patrons there. Have been for a little while, and he's one of mine. Yeah, yeah. I think Nico has like, is he closing in on like 2,000 paid patrons? I'm at like 70. Nico also gives talks. Sometimes I think Trevor may. Nico does give talks. I gave one with Nico, not at the same time, at the Northeast Astro Imaging Conference. So Nico recommended me. So I gave two talks there. I did not get paid. I wonder if I should reach out. All I got was a free hotel room and food. Memberships would be the biggest income from YouTube unless you have partnerships. It really depends. Like YouTube members, I think I'm at like 40 something. I have 70 something patrons and like 70 something people on Buy Me a Coffee. So I'm doing all the platforms basically. Memberships for me on YouTube is not my biggest thing. It's ads. Memberships probably like a quarter of my revenue on YouTube. Hey Corin. Hey Rich, no problem. Thanks for hopping on. I'm glad you got set up at Death Valley. Feel free to reach out whenever you need to, whatever you feel like you want to upgrade. Happy to give you my thoughts and recommendations. This big bright thing is the moon, so um, yeah, this is actually good for the eclipse coming up. Although I don't know if I'll be able to see it rising. Let me pull up the other camera. Yeah, look at that big moon. It's like insanely bright. But this is, I think, like a 30-second exposure. I think that's what Juan told me at DVO. So it's obviously very saturated, but you can still see the Milky Way from up here, which just means, what does mean that, this is not that bright to the naked eye. Will the dwarf giveaway be limited to North America or worldwide? It'll be worldwide, from what I understand. So um, I'm not planning on gating it for any country or any geographic location. Hey Miguel, thanks for joining as a member. It sounds like Dwarf is giving away minis via several different YouTube channels. Oh, are they? Is there other ones giving them away? I have honestly have not been following Dwarf Lab for like a year now. So yeah, interesting. And they've been falling behind ZWO a bit. I wonder if they'll come out with something to compete with the S50. So they teased something called the Dwarf Draco. I haven't heard too much about it. I need to dig into it. But maybe that could be their big S50 Pro competitor. So it could be why they're trying to give some of the minis away to try and drum up interest. But we'll take advantage when we can. Dark structure trying to come through. Yeah, so let me do an SHO. It's only one frame each, but we can still see some stuff. Look at that. Yeah, looks pretty cool. Lots of red, green here from hydrogens. I can turn that into red. I'll do HSO or H. Make this HSO. Yeah, that's it. There we go. That looks a little bit more like what people are used to. Deep Sky Lab is also giving it away. Cool. Nice. Hey, Magus. That's right. You got the mini recently, right? Because it went on like super sale with the tripod, if I remember correctly. Hey, Reading Drones. Welcome back. Watching my remote last week encouraged you to book some time at Starshare in LA Palma, in LA Palma, La Palma. Cool. That's awesome. What kind of rig is there? Oh yeah, you already said it. It'll be on an S30 Pro, ready for the new moon. Quite excited. That's awesome. I hope it's fun. If you're not already on the Discord, you should join and share your experience. I'll post the invite in the chat again for people's. Yeah, the discount was great, but it would be worth it at even at full price. That's good to know because I just got mine today. Of course, it's cloudy for the next 3 days, so I don't know when I'm going to get to use it. But I'm hoping it's clear on Thursday evening so I can live stream from it. I think the discount was like $80 or something. I don't remember. With the tripod, I'll let Magus write since he's the one who bought it. And this is the time lapse from last night. So didn't image anything because of the clouds in Death Valley, but it's much clearer tonight. Looks like some very thin clouds here. All right, I'm checking to make sure. Okay, I think I made the right call, not turn my rig on. Ooh, there's some. These are satellites coming through here. There's like one here and one here, like back to back. Could be satellite flare. Yeah, I think there's satellite flares. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'm glad I didn't turn the rig on last night. New gear tags being paid, Naz. Yeah, I know. It came so fast. It was like it was an overnight. It's 15 to 20%. It was on the mini, the bag, and the tripod. Oh, it was on the bag too. Cool. Yeah, what they sent me was just the mini itself, not the no tripod or bag. But good to hear that you like it. Oh yeah, the moon will bring out the haze, right? Make those glow. I had that at KKRO last night, which was ultra annoying, but tonight it was beautiful. And it's beautiful at Death Valley as well. If you get a little open sky in the daytime, try solar with it. Yeah, I'm gonna try on Monday. Tomorrow I can't because I have stuff to do, but actually it's not clear tomorrow anyway, so no chance. So hopefully Monday. Do I have to pay anything extra for troubleshooting at the remote observatories? If a mount has issues or something, what does the process look like? Good question. So at Death Valley, I've actually had a couple of issues with the filter wheel somehow unscrewing my filters. So far, they fixed it for me without anything extra. Both same day. Amazing process. Amazing people at Death Valley. Like they have my eternal gratitude because I barely missed any imaging time here. I think I missed half a night the first time, and then no time lost the second time. And at KKRO, this is a full rental unit, full rental rig. So if there are any hardware issues, the observatory will take care of it because we're paying to rent both the pier and the gear itself. So so far, like haven't had to pay anything extra there. They've both been really good to me. You need to print a holder for your phone to sit outside, to sit in your mount's saddle so you can do daytime pole alignment. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I should do that too. I'm going to the office on Monday and I have access to a 3D printer there, so maybe I'll do that. Yeah, good reminder. Yeah, you mentioned that app. I also use the Polar Aligner Pro, I think is the app that's called. I've used that before. And then I use like sticky putty on a piece of wood so that my phone is far enough away from the metal, which works. It's clunky, but it works. My day job, I'm a software engineer. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a full-on engineer. The all of the serial scripts started with just me coding them from scratch. Over the I think like since like December, I have allowed AI to redo a lot of the front end because I'm not a front end engineer. I do a lot of back end and infrastructure engineering. So I'm good at like automation. So that's why the serial scripts have come out. They're basically just automating your manual processes, right? So I'm good at that. That's what I do at my day job, just automating stuff as much as I can. Um, but like front end stuff, making things look pretty. If you look at like the first two versions, two or three versions of the Smart Scope script and the OSC preprocessing script, they were ugly, and that's because I did them. And then in December, I gave up. I was like, Claude, help me with with making this look a little bit better. But that's just the front end. All the back end code is still mine. No AI was used there. All the logic and any kind of algorithm I use is fully mine. Have I researched ML Astro SHD 700? Are you familiar with the piece of equipment? I know about it. Yeah, there's at least one person on the Discord server who has that. He takes some amazing images with it. I would want one myself at some point, but I also looked into making my own because it's based on an old SolX project. So the how-to and all the stuff that you need is online if you have the time to do it. But I would also just I don't have as much free time, so I'll probably try and get myself the SHG 700 at some point myself. Yeah, that's right. Jeff has been looking into it. Yeah, I think yeah, knowing you, Jeff, you'll probably get one soon enough. Only some crashes because you got greedy with the batch sizes. Yeah, yeah. That's also yeah, it's hard, right? Because everything is hardware dependent. So like any kind of crashes, it could be anything from the script itself failing to serial failing to your RAM running out of memory or not reading something on your hard drive properly. There's just so many things. That's why when people ask me for help, I'm like, send me your logs, uh, because I need to be able to follow the error backwards to see what the root cause is. That's the other thing I'm good at my day job. I'm good at troubleshooting and sleuthing, so I can look at logs and then find root causes to problems and fix it. So logs are life. Oh, nice. You have a SHG 700. Nice. I hope we get to use it soon. I need to meet up with Astrobits, who's the person from our Discord who has it, who's a friend at IRL. I'll take my Sal 33 over to him and we can give it a shot together. Oh, spectroscopy and radio. Yeah, for radio, you'll probably want to speak to the same person, Astrobits. And for radio, I know Dave has been doing a lot of that. So anytime I talk to the two of them, I'm like, I need to do all of that. Feel this hobby is both great and terrible for your ADHD. I totally agree. Totally agree. Corin, what are you imaging tonight? Good question. So I just actually finished imaging this thing. This is a Comet SV Bony SV220P McNaught from the Southern Hemisphere at the Kagakama Remote Observatory. About an hour and 20 worth of images, which is great. So I'm going to stack these later. And right now at Death Valley, I'm imaging. This is the panel of the uh, Elephant's Trunk Nebula. So this is panel 2. Hold on. Yeah, panel 3. So let me show you what that is in the viewer so you can see what that is. And wallet. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Where's Elephant's Trunk? 3. So yeah, it's this panel here, panel 3. So it's right. Actually, it's just outside of the reach of the elephant's trunk itself. Oops, it's a little bit laggy. Let me go back and redo this. Give me 1 second. The ADHD comment is absolutely spot on for this hobby. Yeah, totes agree. Load. There we go. Okay, so this panel of the Elephant's Trunk Nebula. So I already actually finished this part, which was panel 4 for me. So I'm doing panel 3, 2, and then 1. I'm trying to do about an hour and a half or 3 hours each. Yep, I got my 3 hours on this. So it's not a lot of data, but this will be, I think, my first full mosaic finished at Death Valley. And in the live stack, we have, we're about to finish an H alpha. So we'll see some data coming in here, some more color. Over the past 18 months, you've swapped things for fits. Have I done M27 in detail yet? Do I have anything archived you can show? M27, I mean, I've shot M27 so many times. I think I've actually shot it from here too. Let me pull up my website. So I have M27 with the ASCAR 131F from a couple months ago. This isn't even a lot of data. This is 72 minutes from my backyard. I do have images from Death Valley on this, but I have not processed it yet. But if anyone wants to see this, I'll link to this in the chat. There's nothing too special about it. This was just me testing the ASCAR 131F just to see how well it does. And then down here, it has all the stuff that I used and what the integration time was and from where. Disclaimer, if you click on one of these buttons take our affiliate links. Nice. Compared to my C-Star, it's beautiful. Thank you. I have it on my C-Star too, on the S30. It's a great target for outreach. I'll say people are always mind blown when they see that. Low hanging fruit at the M27. Yeah, it's just so big and bright, right? It's like one of the very few planetaries that actually look really nice. Let's see, it's about the live stack, H alpha. Okay. All right, there we go. So we got some more red in here from the H alpha. You imaged the Elephant Trunk Nebula as well. We'll collect more data when I get the Altair Astro 6 nanometer filters next month. That's cool. Awesome. I'm using 4 nanometer TubeTech filters here. But none of this will beat out the moon. Damn. It is so bright. Oh man, my guiding is still 0.34 arc seconds. It is like barely getting any corrections here. I am truly impressed. This is the ZW AM5, by the way. Dialed in all of my settings here when I first started. It's been working beautifully. Granted that the elephant's trunk is in the north, so it's a little bit easier to track, but still impressed. You just got 3.5 nanometer filters this month and have not been able to use them. Yeah, that's your new gear tax, huh? If only we could find a way to not have this new gear tax on clouds. Thanks for joining, Norm. Have a good night. Yeah, I should end soon. I said I was going to end like 20 minutes ago and I'm still here. It's because all of you are very engaging. So, and I love talking to all of you. So, get out of here, Moon. It's setting, actually. So, you were going to try 2 weeks ago, but it was having trouble connecting with your ASI Air. Yeah. Can't win in this hobby. It is 1 a.m. for me, yes. I still have about 2 hours before I go to bed. But I need to finish recording and editing my video on the lunar eclipse, where I'll be doing the dwarf mini giveaway. So I got to do that because I need to get that video up Tuesday, on Wednesday the latest. Okay. I'm gonna call it 5 more minutes, and then I'll close the stream. And to encourage myself, I'm going to go off the microphone because that's what makes me forget that I'm supposed to log off. So we just hit the 3-hour mark on this live stream. Cool. From both hemispheres. This is the first time I think I've done a started in one hemisphere and ended in the other one. So I'm gonna get off chat. I'll be the stream will go on for like another 5 minutes, and then we'll hop off. I just want to say a huge thanks to everyone for watching, for joining me. It's always fun hanging out with you. Thanks to Miguel for becoming a member here on YouTube. Really appreciate you. Yeah, until next time, clear skies, everybody. Let's talk to you in the chat.